My teachers used to force us to exchange love notes. We were given lists of everyone in class and made to spend money on themed boxes of cards which had these uncomfortable personal sayings. Be mine. Someone likes you. You're so pretty. I love you so much. The idea was to be anonymous in our delivery, but when 25 kids and they're all stumbling over each other in a room meant to handle 15, it's not exactly a discreet process. Some kids went home with lollipops, expertly fashioned to the cards, and a few enthusiastic parents made goodie bags with Pez dispensers and colored paper, sacrifices to the elite of our class. One kid never got anything. Despite the lists and the rules against discrimination, and the fact that she was always nice to everyone, there was always one desk left horribly, obviously bare. I always told myself I didn't mind, but that was elementary school, when the ultimate display of affection was pushing each other on the swings, and at some point down the line people discovered how to order boutiques of roses and perfected the art of making out in full view and way of everyone except the teachers. I guess cards are sort of obsolete. But people get other things, mostly fluffy, button-eyed things with bows, like nooses around their necks. The fact that those things never used to make it to me is my own fault, and I know that. I know I should be more outgoing, or prettier, or just better. But it's more comforting to blame everyone else instead. That's the kind of mood I was in. Early last week, when I was sitting on my polka dot bed scrolling through frilly websites complete with gifs of dogs chewing heart-shaped treats. Not because I was bitter or anything, just that Valentine's Day was coming up and I had to do a love letter for creative writing. Fishing for inspiration, even if resentment was the only fish biting. I clicked a random link and a brightly colored interface popped up. It was a flat red with a few sparse graphics, the title, and a button beaming "Sign up today." A character was posed on the top of the screen looking up at the button. It was impossible to tell if it was a baby or a child. Its head was swollen out and up with a masculine torso and 4 fat limbs. Tufts of blonde hair swooped over huge blue eyes, and everything about it, from its blue clothes to its red skin, was grossly oversaturated. The title was Instant Valentine. Curious, I hovered over the sign-up button, not sure what I was expecting. Part of me thought it was going to be a joke, that text would flash calling me a loser and somehow add me to a public spreadsheet of how many others had clicked the link. I clicked it anyway. And instead of a form popping up, asking for an email and a name, bad as this is going to sound, I never really cared about giving away my email to sites like this. I did it often enough at malls to get Wi-Fi, and with those sketchy grade saver websites. I figured as long as I never put my real name, I wasn't really giving up anything. Oh, now I know better. I typed in my email, and an alias that I spent 30 seconds choosing. Gwen. It's the name I used to wish I had, from when Ben 10 was my favorite show in the world. A minute later, I got a notification and checked my email, again expecting an advert or a punchline. Well, I transcribed it here. To Gwen. You light my life. Be mine? There was no sender. The email was just the site name and a string of numbers. I opened the attachment and found a drawing of a little girl holding a candle. It looked like the first mascot, too red and lumpy, like those vintage cherub kids. Some kind of gushy mailing list? It's cool. I closed the email and went to bed a while later, secretly excited by the digital admirer. This was last week. The next morning I checked my email again, and there was another note from the Instant Valentine. Gwen, you look sweet enough to eat. Be my Valentine. Attached was another old-timey drawing of a girl sitting in a comically large cauldron, an open fire beneath. I know it's dumb, but something about the note was reassuring. There was something to look forward to, for one, but there were also windows into another world. Gwen's world. The notes kept coming. All of them came with drawings, increasingly saturated. A pirate shoving a gooey hook through a girl's heart. Let's hook up, girl. Be mine? A Betty Boop type with rubber-hosed legs and a melting pile around her, bright flames eating away at her skin. You're hot stuff, Valentine. Be mine? A little devil holding a pitchfork with hearts at the tips. Only her expression was twisted with pain, and the horns and tail looked surgically attached. I love you from hell and back. Be mine. At first, the art was charming in a weird way, stuff that you'd find in a garage sale or in an attic, but as the week progressed, they only got more graphic. I tried to Google the pictures by description, hoping to find the artist, and they came up empty. I Googled Instant Valentine. Nothing relevant. I couldn't even find the original site anymore, and I didn't remember the random series of clicks that got me there in the first place. But I wasn't too worried. More curious than anything, I didn't even realize how much I enjoyed the daily acknowledgement until some girls from class asked if I even had a boyfriend yet. As I walked away from them, I wondered why I'd said yes. The days passed. I started filling out Gwen's world a bit. I imagined her as a perfect version of me, taller, smoother skin, a smile like Gatsby and a voice like Daisy. Gwen was confident, and everyone wanted to be her Valentine. I even created a persona for the note giver. I called him Josh, and he grew inside my head as a shy, artsy kid who had been in love with Gwen since they were kids. Love you, dear. Be mine. Gwen's friends recoiled from the bloodied carcass of a girl wearing a sexy deer costume painted across the page, but she knew it was special. I gained another reason to hate Valentine's Day. I knew the notes would probably stop then. But sometime in the next few days, the notes started to change. They stopped being addressed to Gwen, and they started being addressed to me. I spent an hour trying to find out how it knew my name. My lame conclusion was that it could read other emails in my inbox, although I'm still not sure. The thought chilled me, but there wasn't a way to cancel the subscription. I couldn't even reply to the email. So I did nothing, waiting for the issue to resolve itself. The cheesy pickup lines thinned out, replaced them with constant emails, several per day, with just 2 words. Be mine? Be mine. Be mine. The drawings were still there, but they were wrong somehow, like the ink was running. Smudged and blackened faces screaming at me from my computer screen. Always different girls. One was wearing a bikini or underwear, and her head was submerged in a bathtub. Another chubbier girl had on a pig costume and was roasting over a spit with an apple between her lips. I mean, those things had been okay in Gwen's world, but now they were real. They were threatening. I need you to know that I wanted to show someone, friends or parents even. I need you to know that I tried, but I couldn't bring myself to. The embarrassment would have crushed me. And I think maybe there was still a tiny part, a sick and shriveled thing just under my skin, living in my fingertips and between my hips that wanted to keep it secret. Wanted to have something all my own, and maybe that part of me was glad to see my name grace the screen, because just as quickly as I created Gwen, I started to resent her. I need you to know this because I deserve it. There's always a new girl in the drawing. They're getting worse. I can hear their screams. And today's Valentine's Day, and I'm sitting alone in the cafeteria surrounded by red things, fluffy, lacy things. Everyone has a rose. The office is giving them away so no one will feel left out. But I didn't pick one up. I had to write this down. I had to check my email again. Happy Valentine's Day. Let's tie the knot. The picture is in the same ridiculous style, but the ink looks fresh and the lines are sharp. The girl has ugly brown hair pulled into pigtails, and she's sitting on a polka dot bedspread. Heavy ropes crisscross her body. There's tape over her mouth. She doesn't look afraid. My mom just called me saying I need to come home. She said she was picking me up. I could see her car through the windows. The person inside isn't my mother. An office aide is walking around the cafeteria with a green slip looking for me. To send me away, only a matter of time now. The bed in the drawing looks like my bed. The girl in the drawing is wearing my clothes. I wish I was afraid. The office aide is making eye contact, walking towards me. The car outside is honking. A girl is crying over spilling her chocolates. There are roses in the garbage bin. Mascara is running, but I'm not. I should be afraid. Happy Valentine's Day. Hey there kids, it's me, MrCreepyPasta, and I just wanted to tell you thank you so much for watching tonight's video or for listening to tonight's episode of the podcast. It's a brand new year, which means a brand new time for content. We're doing our best to bring you the newest things. I know in 2024 I had released less videos than I ever had any year in the last 14 years, but hey, as things start to piece themselves back together, so do I. So I will be seeing you guys a bit more in this year, I promise you. And as always, I want to give a very big thank you to everybody who supports me over at Patreon. That's patreon.com/MrCreepyPasta. I cannot thank you guys enough. Thank you guys so much for being supporters. That goes for everybody who is down in the description, as well as AcidSystem, BallarmsTheRat, Blake Rattler, Mendoza, Brenna, BrimstonePandemonium, Caltuna, Chainsmoker Dealer, ChicagoHitman, CoryxKenshin, CronutHobo, CrusaderChocobo, CursepoxPrimarch, Dakota Best, Poulsen, Dante Kinkade, Kraus, Ellie Hutmire, Enchanted Buns, Estebean, Gemma, Halsey, HIDive's nephew, Himbo Jerry, Hour Minute Seconds Time, Jay Keems, Jed's Pet, Jordan Humble, King Crab, Mr. Marcus Blitz, Old Penguin, Peaceful Buddha, Psychomel, Red Shadowcat, Remember the Sun, Rinku Star, Salty Surprise, Samara Line, Seclude, Simba's Bloody Mojo, Sky Harbor, Smiley the Psychotic, Sullyman, Tally Sue, the Chavez Brothers. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and sweet dreams.